What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and do a deep dive into Season 3 for Modern Warfare 3, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I am pleasantly surprised with this update, because initially, I thought it was just going to be content that was going to be introduced into the game that makes it more fun and unique and makes you want to come back and play it a little bit, but no, they actually did a few updates to the overall game itself. Once again, Sledgehammer proving themselves to be one of the main development teams that actually listens to core community feedback, and I did not expect this whatsoever. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, buckle up. We're about to go ahead, dive deep into Season 3. I'm going to cover the good, the bad, my first impressions. Of course, later on in the week, I am going to dive deep into maybe maps, weapons, more variety. But in this video overall, I just want to discuss with you guys why this is such a big update from Modern Warfare 3. And again, this, my channel is dedicated to having a neutral mindset. Okay, so of course, if you guys are into that stuff, subscribe, hit that bell. We try to post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And again, you're never going to see 24/7 negative or 24/7 positive on this channel. I'm going to review stuff exactly how I see it as a Call of Duty player, a Call of Duty fan. I understand the drought that we're in with Call of Duty and the skill-based matchmaking, and it's a lot of reasons people don't want to purchase in. But when Sledgehammer does something good, they do something good, and I have to speak the truth about it, and this season is exactly that. So like I said, subscribe, hit that bell, support the channel. We're trying to grind up the sub ranks, and it always means the world to me, all the love and support you guys show on these videos. And also, if you guys do want to partake in any of my other streams, I'm going to be live again today, trying out the season a little bit further, getting more content, and we do host open lobbies, so if you guys want to hop into the squad, by all means, you can find a link to my kick channel down in the description of this video. But first and foremost, while we're on the topic of squads, let me just mention this, ladies and gentlemen, they added in a brand new feature that's going to encourage players to actually want to squad up with one another. The more players that are on your team equals more double XP, which is a genius, fantastic idea in my personal opinion. It's not going to really benefit the solo players, but it's going to give you a crap ton of experience for wanting to play with teammates. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to last a long time, correct me if I'm wrong, but I personally believe from what I read that it's going to be something that's going to be here for a pretty decent amount of time. So when double XP does end, basically you're going to rely on how many teammates you have on your squad if you do want to continue to have double XP. And I like this. I think this is a phenomenal idea. It encourages people to play with one another. It encourages you to hop into, social groups. It encourages you to hop on the actual mic itself. Going back in the day, I understand solo play is fun and all. But even back in the day when I was a solo player, a lot of my friends I met were through the mic, ranting it up, roasting one another, getting into engagements with one another, and then later on we might squad up and play with one another at the same time. It is what it is, but I feel like the mics used to be some of the best fun on Call of Duty, and people just don't want to interact anymore, and I think this feature right here will be a way to get that community back pumping, even though the COD community is absurdly toxic, so that's going to be a problem as well, but at the end of the day, I think this is a good thing. But I just wanted to mention that since I was already mentioning my stream and, joining in since we do open lobbies. That is one of the big things that they did with the season, but if I'm going to say that's one of the big things, that's an understatement, because the other things they did in the season are 10 trillion times better. I mean, first and foremost, the maps, the content that they added into this game, outstanding. Emergency, amazing map. It reminds me of another small style map, kind of like Meat, but I can't get enough. I'll be real, I hate small maps. You guys know this. If you watch my content, you know I despise small maps, but Sledgehammer has been nailing them. Sledgehammer might be the only team that can produce small maps that I truthfully enjoy. The flow of it, the flank routes, every single time Treyarch or Infinity Ward presents a small map, it's usually either a map like Shipment, where it's just mindlessly running around, or it's a map like Nuketown, where it's heavily mid-map control dependent, where you just want to go to mid-map and just hold that, don't move, just camp basically, and make sure spawns don't flip. That's usually what it is. Sledgehammer's been introducing small maps where it's a lot of rotating, a lot of flanking, a lot of different routes that you can take, and still move fast-paced and just get great engagements. I've been enjoying them. Emergency is fantastic, 6 stars, amazing map as well. It's a little bit of a mix of Raid and Plaza in my personal opinion. Plaza because of the interior in the middle of the map. They also got some soundtracks bumping in the background, which is pretty awesome. Raid because of the outskirts by the pool section. It looks almost identical to how Raid looks. It's kind of like a mishmash of a bunch of, classic maps from BO2 in my personal opinion packed into one, and it works fantastic. It's a great map. They also introduced Grow House, which is fun. That's a map called Sphere from Vanguard, for anybody that doesn't know what that map is. That's fun. Not really my favorite map in Vanguard, so it is what it is. I'll still play it. It's content. And then the final map in the rotation, Tanked. Now, this map came from Vandal, from obviously Warzone, but it plays phenomenal. I love how it plays in Modern Warfare 3, and it works great. It is a tad bit different from the Warzone counterpart, but they did what they did to make sure it fits in the 6v6 environment, and I think it's a ton of freaking fun to go ahead and dive deep into. I will say this, a tip, from playing so much Warzone, on Vondel, when I go to that section of the map, usually it's SMG territory. In my personal opinion, I'm always rocking an SMG. But in this game, for multiplayer, it definitely, gives off more of an AR, battle rifle, LMG type of vibe, maybe even a sniper rifle. A lot of the engagements are pretty long range. Even when you go to B flag, a lot of the angles that you're going to be catching people on are going to have a little bit of distance on them. So I would recommend going for a longer ranged weapon instead of going up close and personal. But overall, the map rotations are great. And if you hop into 6v6 right now, it is just a freaking endless amount of content between adding in some of the Modern Warfare 2 maps from last year, some of the remasters as well, all of the OG Modern Warfare 2 2009 content, and then all of the fresh maps on top of it. This is the most content in any COD game, and I'm honestly enjoying it. I know people are saying it's pointless, it's bad, but I think it's cool, and I've been enjoying being able to hop into quick play and not see the same things over and over and over again, like it was for Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare 2 2022. The only other game that didn't have that was Vanguard, but even Vanguard didn't have this much content. This is the most amount of maps, and it adds good variety, and I've been simply enjoying them. I'll be real with you guys. They also went ahead and added in the new game modes. I think they added in one in the chamber, but I didn't actually play that. But again, it's one in the chamber. I mean, what do you expect? And Capture the Flag plays phenomenal. Again, another mode introduced that I'm going to have in my quick play launcher forever, probably. I love Capture the Flag. Headquarters, again, it's just not my cup of tea. When they added that in, I didn't really care for it. But CTF and also Escort, when that finally comes in the mid-season, woo, we are in for a treat. Again, more variety, more ways to play the game. I'm not stuck playing Domination, Hardpoint, and TDM all the time, or Kill Confirm. I actually have something different to play. Things that I really enjoy, Escort and CTF. That's going to add to replayability, at least for me, people who are playing the game currently. If you don't enjoy this game, then obviously this doesn't add anything for you. But this video is basically for the people who are still keeping up with Modern Warfare 3, or maybe they just want to hear some news. They don't care about Modern Warfare 3, but they still want to keep up to date with the Call of Duty franchise. But for those who are still playing this game, yeah, this is one of the best updates we've gotten since probably Black Ops 4. Maybe even earlier than Black Ops 4. I would even argue maybe before that, World War II maybe, or I don't even think World War II had that many crazy updates, even the jetpack CODs. This is hands down one of the biggest updates, and it's been a ton of fun. I picked up the new SMG and the sniper rifle off the ground. They are really enjoyable. Sadly, it's going to take a bit of time for me to grind because I don't purchase the Black Cell, I don't purchase the Jumbo Editions. I just get the free battle pass and grind up myself personally, but I picked them up off the ground, and they're definitely worth grinding for. 2 new weapons are going to add a nice mix into the gameplay rotation, and they are going to be extremely fun to use, so I'm excited for that. And then, of course, obviously, as we all know, the BAL 27 AR is going to be introduced mid-season, adding more variety to the AR category. And while we're on the topic of weapons, let's get into a big detail that Sledgehammer Games fixed up. Again, like I said, this update isn't all content. They did huge things to the weapons as well. They went ahead and fixed up the Modern Warfare 2 weapons, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see right here, general adjustments, decreased obstructive BFX while firing Modern Warfare 2 weapons to align with Modern Warfare 3 standards. Thank you. Removed variance from ADS idle sway, allowing a predictable sway pattern. Our next step towards improving the responsiveness and accuracy of aiming across all input devices in Modern Warfare 3 arrives in Season 3. As previously detailed, this mechanic discourages players from holding their sights for an extended period of time with a constant, subtle motion that introduces slight inaccuracy. In today's update, we've removed variance from ADS idle sway, resulting in a predictable and consistent motion curve. This change raises the skill ceiling and rewards players who take the time to master their favorite weapons. I just love this because it's a diss to Infinity Ward, basically saying that they went ahead, they messed up their aiming, and they had to do the work to go ahead and fix it. That's how I read this. They might not put it like that personally, but when I see this type of information, they're basically saying that it's outdated. The way that Infinity Ward went ahead and hooked up their weapons is outdated for an FPS game that's styled like Call of Duty. We want a responsive gunfight out of pretty much all of our gunfights. You know what I'm saying? Realism is cool here and there, but even back in the day when they had realistic features, it was still snappy and responsive. They can't keep tweaking and messing with the actual gunplay. That's the core of Call of Duty, and they messed it up so bad, but Sledgehammer Games did a phenomenal job here. Sadly, I did not try out the Modern Warfare 2 guns just yet. Again, I tried to test out as much as I could today. I went ahead and unlocked the aftermarket part. I played all the maps. I got content for everything. I'm trying to grind through the battle pass. I got through 2 separate tiers, so I'm close to the SMG, so I can make content for that. So I didn't get a chance to try Modern Warfare 2 weapons just yet, but trust me, it is going to happen, and I'll have a whole separate video letting you guys know if they feel a lot better or if they feel a lot worse. But again, this is a huge step in the right direction. They care. Not only did they, put in a system where if you party with more people, you get double XP, but now they're also realigning the Modern Warfare 2 weapons to add more variety in gunplay. Imagine if they can get these Modern Warfare 2 guns feeling exactly like Modern Warfare 3. Then we have content. Because right now, they feel like crap. I don't know. Maybe they feel better now. But again, before this update, they felt like crap. You know, I would use them to troll, to mess around with. But in a competitive environment, which is 99% of the time because of skill-based matchmaking, they're just not viable. It's not useful. I'd much rather deal with a Modern Warfare 3 weapon and actually compete. If they can align them both, it's going to be so much content in this game to play with. I don't know what I'm going to use at that point, man. It's going to be so much variety, and I'm excited because the gameplay clips I'm going to be able to show you guys will have so much different stuff in them that hopefully will keep you guys interested as well. And another massive thing Sledgehammer Games went ahead and did was touch upon the perks. I have been begging for this to happen for 2 full seasons. This would be the 3rd season, and if they didn't touch upon them, I would have raged. I would have probably complained about it again, and this would be a completely different review. Like I said, if it was just content, it would have been a little bit of a mid-style review, I feel like. I would have still enjoyed it because it's a lot of maps and new stuff to grind for and perks and attachments and stuff, but still, they're not messing with the things that need to be messed with to add more real variety to the game, which is the perks. The perks are really messed up in this game, and they finally went ahead and touched upon them after 2 seasons of absolutely nothing. Now, they didn't touch upon all the perks that I want to see done, like Stalker and stuff like that, and Sleight of Hand. I'm a little depressed that they didn't touch upon that stuff, but at least we got our foot through the door now, you know? That's all I want to see. We finally got some things being tweaked, which means that hopefully in the future they'll continue to do so. Before, they didn't touch anything, so I was just worried they weren't going to mess with any of the perks. They didn't care. But now that they at least touched upon a couple of them, you know, I'm feeling pretty good about it. But, you know, they went ahead and fixed the Quick Grip Gloves, increased weapon swap speed benefit to a minimum of 40% differing by weapon. Ordnance Gloves added a 20% equipment, field upgrade, and killstreak use speed benefit, and Marksman Gloves resolved an issue causing the 15% sway reduction benefit to not apply. So basically, they're fixing up the perks to make them a little bit more viable, to add a little bit more range when it comes to perk variety in this game. Another phenomenal thing that like I said, I cannot praise them enough for doing so. Again, we can complain about the game. I understand. I would never tell anybody to not complain about this game being $70 when before, you know, all this content was introduced. It was pretty much DLC. I mean, that was the vision. Sledgehammer didn't even know if it was going to be DLC or a full-fledged out game. I can't blame you for not wanting to purchase it because of that. I can't blame you that the game launched with, you know, only Modern Warfare 2 maps and you didn't feel like playing all that stuff. I don't blame you for not wanting to deal with skill-based matchmaking. I can't blame you for any of these things, and they're all valid arguments and valid complaints. But we can't deny the fact that Sledgehammer is doing some phenomenal stuff this year when it comes to the community, which sucks because the game that nobody wants to touch because it's so DLC-like and it's just filled with stuff that they don't want to deal with is probably the best live service that we've gotten out of any of the games in the past 5-6 years now. Sledgehammer's been absolutely nailing it, not just with content, but with frickin' updates, and that's where it's important. That is where it's important. A game can have all the content in the world, but as long as they don't mess with the actual variety in the game, it's going to die out, and that's what they're doing. Perks are being adjusted, metas are being adjusted between the weapons, they're adding in more content, more perks, more vests to, you know, mess with the flow. They added in quick fix. There's so much stuff to do and so much stuff to test and so much variety to be had that this is one of the seasons that we needed. We really needed this. This has given me so much confidence that Sledgehammer Games is going to push hard as ever with the upcoming seasons. I hope. I really hope. I hope it doesn't fall off. I'll tell you guys this. If Season 4 does not, you know, keep up with this season right here, they fell off completely, and I will gladly admit that. You guys know me. Like I said, on this channel, if you guys are interested in this type of content, subscribe and hit that bell. But on this channel, I'm always going to be open-minded, okay? I'm never going to completely crap on something. I'm never going to completely praise something. I'm always going to see both sides of the story here. And trust me, if Season 4 doesn't keep up to this, it's going to be problems. I did the same thing in Vanguard. Vanguard produced a lot of content, and I said if they didn't keep that up in Modern Warfare 2, that's going to be an issue. Guess what? They didn't do it. It was an issue. I complained about it all year long not having content. I'll do the same exact thing here. It's not going to stop me. It never has before. It never will now. You know, I'll keep my opinion open, and that's the truth. You know, Season 3 is phenomenal here when it comes to content, updates, patches, so on and so forth. And, you know, I am sad they haven't fixed the Swarm yet. The Swarm is still a problem where it's bugged out, but, you know, we'll touch upon that maybe later on. But with everything else, it's really good. It's really solid. But if they can't keep that standard, I'm going to let you guys know. They definitely fell off. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, for me personally, this season is pretty dang good. I have heard some crazy bugs are occurring, and some people can't even play this season. I'm going to give it a day to pan out, and if that continues, I will make a video discussing that, because that is a huge, 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 huge problem when it comes to this brand new season, and it'll have to be addressed. Like I said, open-minded here. If it's something bad, I have to go ahead and discuss it and bring some light to the topic. So I'm going to give it another day. If it's really bad tomorrow, yes, I will go ahead and discuss it and we'll bring it to light. But if it's just a day fix, I'll probably leave it at that. And they removed 12v12 and 10v10. There's no more mosh pit like that anymore, so that's a bummer. But, I mean, dang, the maps are really good. They're fun. The weapons are really enjoyable. I'm not even a sniper. And I enjoy the brand new sniper they introduced, and I'm going to be using it pretty consistently as well. I'm happy. I'll be real, I'm happy. And with the changes they did to the overall game itself, the fundamentals, as long as they can keep that up through the middle of Season 3, we are in good hands here. Because they already did some really good adjustments at the beginning. They just need to do a few more tweaks throughout the middle of it. And I mean, at that point, Season 4 is going to be smooth sailing, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Regardless, skill-based matchmaking is still present. You're still going to have to sweat your butt off if you want to actually play this game, and it's still flooded with extremely overpriced microtransactions. But Sledgehammer, you know, seriously, you're doing a pretty good job right now. You're doing a pretty good job. Out of the past 5-6 games, this, hands down, is the best experience we have gotten. So, I mean, at least there's that. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, go down in the comments section, roast me up. I know everybody's going to want to roast me, so go ahead, roast me up. Leave a like if you enjoyed today's video. Leave a dislike if you hated it. Subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And if you are interested in more content, I do stream pretty much daily as well over on Kick. Find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. As always, thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.